Did your grandma ever say to you, "Listen here, little Billy, you can't have your cake and eat it"? Well, your grandma was wrong, because she'd clearly never driven a BMW 335D Touring. The F31 BMW, which is the touring version of the F30, has been around since 2011. The F30 came out a year before, in 2010. So it's been around quite a while now and has been superseded in the last couple of years. Over the previous model, this car is lighter, it's faster, it's more economical, it's more spacious, and it handles better. Now, that is the right way forward, isn't it? That's how the new version of a car should be. So this car, it's very easy to drive, actually. The steering is incredibly light. The previous 3 Series had much heavier steering. It's got an 8-speed automatic gearbox. You could also get it with a 6-speed manual, but this automatic gearbox, it's a ZF gearbox, and it's really smooth. You just put it in drive and away you go. So as you're just tootling around, there's no sort of inkling of the underlying performance of this car or how it will handle. I mean, the ride quality is actually really good. I mean, this car's got massive 19-inch alloy wheels on it. Okay, it's got firm suspension, as you might expect from a sporty BMW. Really not an uncomfortable car. Now, standardly this car is rear-wheel drive, but it was also available with the all-wheel drive X-Drive. So the 335D was always X-Drive, so for your average driver that's good, because the performance of this car is pretty serious, and having that all-wheel drive is good for just keeping you on the road. So this interior is very sensible and German, but it feels solid and it's purposeful. You feel like you are behind the wheel of a fairly serious machine. You've got an infotainment screen and it's in the perfect place. It's high up, although it does technically stick up out of the dashboard. The top of it is just below the bottom of the windscreen, so it doesn't enter into your field of view outside of the car. You can control it down at the bottom with the scrolly wheels, so you don't have to go and try and touch it, which you can't anyway. It's just dead easy to control. This dial's really satisfying to use. The only thing that is bad about this is it didn't come with Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay was available, but only as an option. So Android Auto is great, as is Apple CarPlay, and the only way to get Android Auto is to basically get an aftermarket part and get it done that way. So of course there was a huge range of engines available, right from the 316 and 318, right up to the 335D, which is the top spec diesel engine, and the 340i petrol. Whatever sort of level of performance and economy you want to achieve, you can take your pick. The top spec diesel is of course an absolute beast. BMW really know how to build a diesel engine. The performance of this thing is immense. The 0 to 60 is 4.8 seconds. Yeah, that's got it. It's got some poke. When you first pull away, you can hear that sort of agricultural tractory diesel sound, but then it actually sounds really nice. Okay, best just slow down there. Once you're on the move, the sound of that 6-cylinder, it's glorious. So of course, with this being a German executive car at heart, it's really well set up for just cruising along. My arm's sat on this armrest here. I've got my other arm on the armrest on the right hand side. You can just sort of hold it like this. It's just dead easy to just cruise along on the motorway. And of course, it's refined, it's quiet. It's quite a relaxing car to travel long distance in. I can hear a little bit of whistling from the wing mirrors. Now I don't know if that's because this has got like sporty wing mirrors on it or something, but it's just like a little noise. In theory it'll still get 49 mpg, which is really good. I think that is achievable, but you're probably looking more like an average of 40 or something like that, depending on how you drive. Something you might be hoping for when you buy a 3 Series is a 6-cylinder engine. Now they are still present and correct in some of the models, but not quite as many as you'd think. So it's only the 330D and 335D and the 330i and above are 6-cylinder. So everything else is 4-cylinder and a much smaller engine capacity than you might think. Now, something BMW have always been good at is extracting cash out of the original owner. If you want anything on this car, you would have had to have opted it when it was new. You do get a DAB radio, Bluetooth, and this infotainment screen here as standard, but pretty much anything else that you might expect to get on a luxury high-ish end car, you have to make sure it's on the car when you buy it, because stuff like automatic headlights and wipers, you don't get that standard. So this car is a 2019 M Sport Shadow Edition. It's the M Sport, so it's got the sort of slightly sportier aspirations, firmer suspension and sporty touches. And then the Shadow Edition, if you're a fan of the murdered outlook, basically just blacks out all the sort of chrome bits or surrounds of grills. And obviously this car is bright white, but if you've got the black one of these, then the whole car is black, basically. I think this generation of BMW 3 Series, the F30 generation, I think it's the sweet spot in terms of styling. It looks nicer than the Chris Bangle previous car. I think this one just looks like a sharp suit. It's got some nice creases in it, and it just looks like a really nice modern design, and I'm not such a fan of the newer BMW. Of course, this car is great to drive, as you'd expect from a BMW, and especially one of this generation. The steering is really direct. It's a little bit dead around the middle, as you can see there, but that's actually was engineered into the car in 2015 when they did the facelift, because it was a little bit twitchy at higher speeds. The handling of this car is excellent. It's not quite a tiny sports car, but it does listen to what you ask it to do, and I don't want to say at one with the car, but it does feel certainly a pleasure. If you like the F31 BMW Touring, then please like this video, and if you don't like the F31 BMW 3 Series Touring, please like this video. So you might have some preconceptions about BMW reliability. I mean, I do. This model is actually more reliable than the equivalent Audi A4 or Mercedes C-Class, so you get all of the good things about a BMW, and it's still just as reliable, if not more. But of course there are some problems, like the timing chain tensioners, there's a bit of a mouthful, on the pre-2015 models, on the diesels. That could be an issue, and there were plenty of other little minor problems that you could have, so not faultless. Interior practicalities. Well, there's two cup holders up front here which fit the fat bottom bottle, which is good. The side door pockets fit the fat bottom bottle easily, so they're quite big, but then the centre console cubby is quite small. You've also got a fairly small glove box for the size of the car as well. So it's that time of the video where I ask backseat JJ, what do you think about the back of the 3 Series Touring? It's not bad. I've got my legs are just behind the seat, so you can just about get two 6-footers behind each other. The headroom's pretty good. You've got these climate control vents at the back where you can control both the flow and the temperature as well, which is nice. Of course, where it really does get interesting is the back, where you can fold the seats down. They don't fold flat, but they do fold down. And then you've got pretty cavernous space at the back with lots of little features, such as a parcel shelf that you can stow underneath the rear floor. There's an optional 12-volt socket. And of course, the best feature is the tailgate, which both opens fully and also just the glass part. The Touring also comes standard with a button to electrically close the tailgate. Compared to some estate cars, the visibility is not quite so good back there. There's a rear pillar that's quite large. There seems to be no reversing camera even on this Shadow Edition, so that's presumably some expensive option. But it does have front and rear parking sensors, as you can hear. You'll be pleased to hear that this generation of 3 Series got a full 5 stars from the crash test people at Euro NCAP, so it is a very safe car that you can cart your family around with confidence. Just want to do a little experiment. If you're a long-term viewer of this channel and you've seen a few videos, please comment below and say hello, and I'll be sure to get back to you and reply, because YouTube will only tell you when someone returns once from a video. After that, you've got no idea. So that's the BMW 3 Series Touring. It's proof that the phrase "you can't have your cake and eat it" is a nonsense. I mean, obviously that cake is quite expensive to buy, and it does have a few raisins of unreliability in it, but okay, that metaphor is getting a bit tortured, but this car is a very competent all-rounder. It performs well, it handles well, it's got good fuel economy, and you know, you can fit loads of stuff in the back. So a car that if you can afford to buy and run one, then you won't regret it. A big thank you to Billy for bringing this car to the channel. If you want to see a video about the future, as it will be, the Tesla Model 3 review is worth watching, and I'll see you in the next video.